Spoil Mom for Mother's Day. Visit berries.com, click the microphone, and type code RT News to send her flowers and freshly dipped strawberries for $39.99. Welcome to The Know. I'm Ashley Jenkins, and in case you haven't noticed, it's Destiny Week. We've already covered how characters and classes work and the gameplay. If you missed either of those, click here. Today, we'll cover the social aspects of the game and the game experience for those who prefer to play solo. As has previously been announced, the tower functions as your home ground between missions and explorations, where you can manage your equipment storage or trade your equipment to one of your other characters, buy new stuff from vendors, take on new missions, meet other players, and decide how you want to cramp their style. Player investment lead Tyson Green says, "I think the main thing that happens when you're in the tower is you can see other people and you can get an idea of what other people have accomplished and what they're doing. And in some cases, you'll get different ideas about how do I want my character to look." Green also says that how the tower gets used will change over time as players make the game their own, a sentiment echoed by head of community Eric Osborne about the game as a whole.
Even back the early Machinima days, our team was looking at it and just laughing their asses off, you know? And so a lot of those features were literally born out of what you were doing and what we saw the community doing. And so that's super important for us too. We want to get the game right. We want it to feel fun. We have some good ideas ourselves, but once the community gets it, it becomes about heritage, right? They'll take it and they'll make it their own. And we definitely want to leave space for us to sort of tee off those things. We have some ideas about how we can extend and enhance the experience, you know, for Destiny and what we think makes it great, but we're absolutely prepared to be surprised and go, oh man, that's really cool. Let's support that.
And over time, this may have larger ramifications for player-created content. The Halo series ended up introducing robust tools that allowed players to take charge of their game experience, creating new multiplayer maps and modes. Green, who looked after the Forge and Save Film systems on Halo, says he looks forward to the day Destiny can do that, though it's not something they're really ready to talk about yet. He expands, "I will certainly say, though, that user-generated content excites the hell out of me. I think that's really great stuff, so I'm sure someday we'll support that." Once you leave the tower, you can wander off to explore public spaces or strikes even if you're a solo player. That's where matchmaking comes in. Green says, "PvP in the Halo games has always been, if you're on your own, no problem, we'll find a team for you. That same system, that's the sort of approach we're going for. You can do a strike like that too if you want. In fact, strikes are designed to be fun for a group assembled like that."
So you can go in as a party of one. You're never forced into a social situation. And so if you just want to carve your own line through the story, you'll run into other players. We don't turn the world off. It's meant to be living. It's meant to be social. But you don't have to formally make a group. You don't have to link up. If a public event kicks off, you don't have to join it. So you can just sort of put the blinders on and go. We hope that people will see those public events and see other players and decide maybe I'll try this thing out. That's definitely one of our goals, but we certainly don't want to force people into something they don't want to do. So you won't be running through a public space and have somebody do surprise PvP on you or anything like that.
And when it comes to raw power, Green assures solo players that if they don't want to do PvP or cooperative missions, their equipment options will be different but no less powerful, though they may take a bit of extra work. He says, "I would say that even a single player can ultimately be as powerful as any other character in the game. It may take longer. It may be different particular items they use to get there." However, at its core, the game is designed with a multiplayer community focus, and the developers hope the players will enjoy working together and forming bonds.
For Destiny, we really wanted to think about ways we could put that community sort of at the center of the experience. So we've created this concept of public spaces, public bubbles, and social spaces in a shooter, which we think is really unique. Where you can sort of run into other people on the fly. You can form fire teams on the fly. You can do a lot of drop-in, drop-out stuff. We're trying to find a lot of ways to get people to play together. Some of it's lightweight, like emotes. We can wave to each other or thank each other when you guys play. You'll be able to see that kind of stuff go down. It feels really fun and interesting, and it's a really cool way, almost a journey-like way to solve player communication. But then there are public events which are really valuable and really fun to participate in. We think players will just love to jump in and do that.
And when you do get into multiplayer and get ready to put a team together, you're looking at an ideal size of 3, the basic formula for strike missions, and good news for Team Lads and Team Gents.
So the fire team construct is sort of the nucleic setup, and that's 3 players. And we find that that tends to be where the communication is very tight-knit. These are people you like. But in certain modes, we'll definitely expand that out. When you go into like a patrol or a public event, you'll see more players out there. If you go to the tower, you'll see more players. And we're not really bounded technically by how many people we can throw into it. It's more about design decisions. What's fun, what feels right. When you're in a public event, you want to be one of 10,000 or 1 of 10, right? What makes a lot of sense? What makes it feel like you have impact in the world, you're contributing, and people can see you and see your name and understand you and maybe reach out to you with a friend invite or want to keep playing with you in the world. So we're tinkering with all that stuff right now, and we'll lock it in as we go.
That's it for today. If you missed either of our previous Destiny primers, you can catch up by clicking here, and watch the patch tomorrow for our thoughts on the gameplay experience we had during the Devil's Lair Strike mission we got to play while at Bungie. To get all the biggest updates for video games and entertainment, click like and subscribe, and we'll keep you in the know.